everybody here. I hope I didn't interrupt everybody. If you're still eating, please continue. Again, thank you to Larry's Catfish for your meal tonight. We're really looking forward to next year, reaching out to you guys to indicate our event here in the Full County. Again, I just want to thank you all for being here tonight and reiterate the Roadshow 2015. We didn't reinvent the wheel, but we made it fit the needs of Delta State University. One of our sister institutions in the state, University of Mississippi, they're currently doing a road trip with their athletic department and their alumni association. So we wanted to do something like that, bring it to our alumni, but we want to focus it right here in the Mississippi Delta so we can hit all of our larger populated locations right here as we move into the fall. Because we want to tell you what's going on campus, what's going on Cleveland, so you can come back and enjoy your alma mater and enjoy Cleveland, Mississippi. It's a little bit about what's going on with your alumni association. We've been really busy visiting with our alumni throughout the summer and the springtime. We've been in 3 metropolitan areas at the Mississippi picnics in New York, in Washington, D.C., and Atlanta, Georgia. So it's really been a lot of fun getting to visit with our alumni in those areas. It's amazing who comes out and how many Mississippians travel to these venues, these parks, and these events to be a part of it as a vacation. And also it kind of surrounds visiting with their alma mater, so it's a lot of fun. But I do want to give you some other dates, because if you're ever traveling for work and you see on the website or you see through social media that we have an event, we want you to attend. So I'm going to tell you about 3 areas that we're going to be meeting our chapter meetings coming up here in Jackson, Mississippi on July 30th, DeSoto County in South Haven on August the 8th, and we're going to be in Gulfport on August the 27th. So if you're traveling through these larger areas, please join us. Come to the meeting. It's not just for our alums that live in that area. We want you to always feel that you can come out and be a part of our alumni events. So we're really excited about that. Save these dates, important dates for our special events coming up. Pig picking. We want you to come back, mark the calendar, September 19th on our campus. You hadn't been back to Statesman Park here recently. That's our tailgate. That's your home's tailgate area as we prepare to watch our Statesman play to compete at Parker Field McCool Stadium, and that's September 19th. November the 7th is homecoming, so please mark your calendar. The Alumni Association now teams up with athletics the Friday before homecoming with our signature event at the Bologna Performing Arts Center, which is our homecoming awards and homecoming awards event there, where we recognize our outstanding alumnus of the year, our Alumni Hall of Fame, our service awards, our athletic inductees into the Sports Hall of Fame. We recognize the 50th year class. So please, you're invited to that to come back and enjoy it. And as you know, the Bologna Performing Arts Center, we have plenty of seating. So we're always going to be looking for those who's coming back to enjoy their alma mater when we recognize our alums. And we will be releasing that here in the next few weeks, who will be recognizing homecoming. So be looking and staying close, updated to the website for that. The Bologna Performing Arts Center is in their 21st season. Laura Howell, the executive director, could not make it tonight, but she wanted to pass on and make sure you guys had the opportunity to take home a brochure to talk about the upcoming events. And I just kind of, as I'm flipping through there, and of course I joined not too long ago as an annual member at the Performing Arts Center because I want to do my best to support the arts as a staff member on campus. This fall, September 17th, leading up to Pig Picking, the Time Jumpers, who was nominated for a Grammy with country music, will be there on our campus. That'll be a great opportunity for you to drive over and support the Bologna Performing Arts Center. In the spring of 2016, we're going to have Annie, the musical, Broadway musical, that's going to be right there at our Performing Arts Center. So take the time, stay up to date with the website, and come on over to the Bologna Performing Arts Center and enjoy that on our campus. We're very excited about a building that's being built right next door to your Hugh Ellis Walker Alumni Foundation House, Grammy Museum, Mississippi. The grand opening will be on November the 14th, the weekend after homecoming. So we want you to come back then and check out what's going on with the Grammy Museum, Mississippi. There are some brochures that are up there on our, I guess, college fair for alumni. So please take home any materials you'd like to take back with you. Last but not least, to give you some important dates, because I know I have others that we want you to visit with tonight, is just a few alumni dates. Our alumni magazine will be in homes in August. Now our magazine now is a one-year publication. One time a year we send this out to our alumni. So we've made some changes, but we're increasing the number of pages. We're making it a more quality, magazine for you to keep at home with you, on your table there, your table top room, your den, living area, or in your office. So be looking for that. But make sure you're up to date with your alumni membership, or currently supporting the areas that you're on, because now we're only mailing our magazine to alumni, dues-paying members, and people who supported the campus throughout their time with their areas of interest. And we're doing that because we just need to make that adjustment. We found out by talking to one of our printing companies that we were actually printing more alumni magazines than the University of Mississippi, because the University of Mississippi only sends theirs to dues-paying members. And we were sending more to our 30,000+ alumni base. So we made the adjustment. So be thinking about that. So we'll make sure that your alumni magazine will be in your homes. But of course, we'll have it there on the web for you to check out. DSU car tag. If you have a DSU car tag, thank you. We do not know who has a Delta State car tag, but we do know how many that are driving around the state of Mississippi, and we have a goal. We're trying to reach 800 by the end of this upcoming fiscal year. We do have a long way to go. We're about 760. I should say a long way to go. But consider, when you go down to your county courthouse, consider a Delta State car tag, because it's instrumental to help and give back to a university, to our office, so we can continue to provide services. But also, these monies are going for scholarships through the Alumni Association. And also, it helps market us while you're on the road and in traveling. So consider that. Also, last but not least, I want to introduce our staff that are here with us today, that took the time out of their busy schedule to come and visit with you. We're so fortunate to have this group. And I'm going to kind of start the best I can as I move around. We got the admissions office here with us, Diana and John. So if y'all kind of wave to the group here, they work in our admissions office. We're so glad they're here. Jordan Thomas is your Assistant Director of Alumni Affairs. She's the one that sends you the emails. She's the one with your alumni magazine. She's the face behind social media. Leading into social media, I'll try to be quiet in a minute. I kind of get on a roll sometimes. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. We are on it. So don't say we're not. Follow us, Statesman graduates. Twitter, DSU_alumni. LinkedIn, DSU alumni. I'm sure a lot of you are on LinkedIn. We are there with social media. We have a presence, and we want you to follow us there to stay up to date with everything. Ann Geiger, Director of Donor Relations. Thank you, Ann, for being here. JT Webb, Athletics. Fred Sinkton, Delta State Athletics. Keith Fulcher, our Executive Director of the Alumni Foundation Office. Ron Cather with our Chair of the Art Department. Matt Jones, who you'll see here in a few minutes, and we have others that are here that will be speaking to you. Thank you for being here. If I can be of any service to you when you come back to campus or while you're right here at home, please feel free to reach out to me and help me as someone that's still learning to do and do the best they can to help provide services to you as an alum. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Matt Jones, our Assistant Athletic Director for External Relations.
First off, social media is immediate. If any of y'all had told someone that you weren't coming to this event tonight, sorry. I just put it all over social media to our some 13,000 followers with everything that we have through our social media channels. My name is Matt Jones. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for External Relations. Do pretty much everything outside of the building. We try to continue to grow our brand, to expand our brand, and we had the opportunity to put this together this year. We thought no better way to try to start building momentum going into the fall than by coming to our events. We're a family. We're a Delta State family. And with that, we're always asking you to come to us. We want you to come back to campus, and we do want you to come back to campus. I'm not giving you an out. We want you to come back to campus, but we also wanted to come to you. And this is the first time we've done it. Hopefully we'll continue to grow it and grow it in the right way. And we are tremendously excited. I am the voice of Delta State University. Literally, I'm the play-by-play guy for all of our athletic events. So I get to be the master of ceremonies tonight. I'm going to talk to you about some of the athletic things that we have going on in a few moments. But you're not here to see me. You're here to see the other folks that are here. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our president. He is no stranger to anyone in this room. And we are extremely excited. Our momentum is headed in the right direction. We're growing. We're headed exactly where he is leading us. And that us to better places. And with that, President LaForge.
Thanks much. Matt told me he was my guest the other day on my blog program. We do a little video YouTube type thing every week. It comes out on Monday mornings. And he was my guest to talk about this very program, going out to communities. And at the end of it, I said, I'm going to ask you another question. I said, some of the people watching this never get to see you. They get to hear you because you are the voice of the station. And he said, yes, I've been told I have a face for radio. I had heard it. It was a long time ago. It's a great, great quote. We've got some great things going on at Delta State, and we appreciate y'all coming out and visiting with us and giving us a chance to kind of tell you. I'm going to kind of do a quick update, and then you get to hear the fun stuff about the fall from our coach, who's electric. And I can promise you, when you get through listening to the next guy after me, you're going to put on pads and a helmet and go in the game. So that's the kind of excitement that Coach Cooley brings to our sports program. Delta State is a special place to all of us. It was to me, and that's the leading reason why I came home a little more than 2 years ago. So I'm beginning my third year. We inherited some pretty tough challenges. I'm fond of saying we have a lot more opportunities. The challenges were budget related and enrollment related. Both, we think, are stabilized. We have that in check in hand. Not that they're not challenges, but we're there. Part of the reason is we just had an erosion of our enrollment for 7 or 8 years prior to my coming here. And we did some changes, and these recruiters right here are part of the reason for that. We've done a better job at recruiting. We're more strategic. We're doing a lot of things we never did before. And last fall, we had the first uptick in enrollment in 8 years. And we were real pleased with that. We have a great faculty. They're a very different faculty than most of us who went to school there remember. Ron and his colleagues do an incredible job. We have wonderful departments, wonderful professors, and they're doing the same sort of thing that our guys did when we were there in terms of being that personal connection to academics, giving you the extra time, that special Delta State way. And we want to keep them there. And so we actually went through an exercise this past year that was a little tough. We went through a budget cut, and we identified 5 programs, academic programs, that just weren't being supported by students. We had too few graduates and too few people in the classes. So we cut those programs, and the idea was to save $1 million over the next year or so. That's a tough thing for a school with a $46 million budget to do, and we've accomplished that. So our promise was if you do that, plus get some money from the legislature, we'll have the first pay raise in 4 years, and we just put that into effect July 1. So that's another good thing. They had long overdue, well-deserved pay raise, and finally, I think we're going to start doing it. It's not enough in the first year. We're going to do some more next year, we hope. So there's some good things happening institutionally there. Things are solid. We're trending the right direction in a lot of ways. A few of the programs you might be interested in knowing, we have great conferences that now are bookends of our year. We have a race relations conference in the spring that has become an award winner from the first year. We are the rightful place to lead that type of a dialogue, particularly in the Delta. It is a marvelous program, and we encourage you to come over and see it. It's usually at the end of April. In the fall, we have a blues conference that is unique. These are all brand new things we've started in the last 2 years. We are becoming rapidly a center of the blues. It's natural. It's where we are. And because of that, we went after some Heron grant money, got $1 million, and we have a project underway that's blues-centric. We have the conference in the fall. We're starting a blues curriculum this fall in the form of a minor. Hopefully it'll lead to a major. It includes music programs, business, art, political science, and other disciplines. So that someday when we're all rocking on our porches, people who say, you want to study the blues, you have to go to Delta State. We are going to be the mecca of that. And I might tell you that we are becoming much more of a music-centric and culture-centric university, all for the good. I think our future is tied to that in many ways. If you add it all up, Ron's art department, classic, always had good people on it. We had classmates, Dick Kelso, Richard Kelso now, and others who came through, Sammy Britt. We've got a department that's very important. Our traditional music department, our Delta Music Institute, which is going great guns. They're a growth area for us. We're going to add professors this fall and students this fall in that program. If you add to that the BPAC, the best performing arts center in the South. If you add to that our blues program I just mentioned to you. You add to that the Delta Center for Culture and Learning, which really does a lot of things on campus that's culture oriented. And now our newest partner, the Grammy Museum, you just heard about. All of that kind of comes together in the perfect storm of music and culture. And that's going to be something big time for Del State in the years ahead, so watch out for that. We've had some great things that have happened to us this year academically. It's a little bit boring, but you need to know that your institution is solid academically. Every 10 years there's a SACS reaccreditation process. We came through with flying colors. And our College of Education, for those of you who came to the College of Education, not only got reaccredited by CAPE, their national organization, they got the highest mark possible with no recommendations. And the evaluators who came to campus said they've never seen that in 25 years. Your College of Education is doing great things. We've got 3 colleges: business, arts and sciences, and education, and School of Nursing. And that School of Nursing is going great guns. We're adding professors this fall for new students. We're increasing that. So a lot of good things going on the academic side. We've added a student success center on campus. We're focusing on retention. We have new programs. The old freshman orientation program, many of us experienced, that was kind of bogus. We have beefed it up. We beefed it up big time, and we increased retention from our freshman, from first semester to second semester by 7% in the first year we did this.
Wow.
That's important. We don't go around thinking about that every day. It's not sexy sounding, but that's why we're there. Academics is first. Classroom instruction is our priority. And we recruit on that. You know, when John and I go into the schools and recruit students, we tell them that, tell their parents that. That's why they come first. So we're doing a much better job in that. Fundraiser, Keith and Gary and others in our foundation operation on campus have done a terrific job. We just set a record year. Those of you who contributed helped to that. In our annual fund, more than $500,000 for the first time ever, wildly exceeding the $425,000 goal. Biggest year, 2 years in a row, we've raised more than $4.3 million total for everything, all gifts and pledges. So that's a sign of a growing institution where the donor base starts supporting you much more so, and we need that institutional or that private dollar to support what we're getting from the state, because we're getting less and less revenue from state, and that's not a good thing. We're getting what we can. We also go after government grants and corporate grants and foundation grants. We received a grant from the Department of Education, federal agency this year, last year or so, for $1.6 million, and it supports some of our student success activities on campus. We received a $1 million grant from the Heron Foundation in Jackson to put on the Blues Project I mentioned to you, and another $1 million grant just recently that's going to support an alumni program we're putting together for Teach for America. We're going to encourage Teach for America students who come teach in Mississippi, especially in the Delta, for 2 years, to stay in the Delta for their career. We're going to give them internships and place them in the Delta. We're going to put them in a graduate program at no cost to them for 2 years in the field of their choice, and we're going to give them graduate fellowships to encourage them to stay in the Delta. This is bright, talented youth coming to the Delta. So it's another thing we're doing. It's a little bit of an external thing, but it gives you an idea of what we're doing. We got a $100,000 grant from our U.S. Department of State to help facilitate our very first and very successful student exchange program. We did an exchange of students and faculty between a university in Russia, where I've taught several times, this year for the first time. A group of them came last fall, and a group of our students and faculty went over this past May and June. We just started out with a great bang. These are all new things that we're doing, and we're trying to do them on other people's nickels, the best we can. So a lot of good things happening there. Enrollment-wise, we're right around 3,600, stable. We expect a little bit of an increase this fall. You might see in the paper, it's reported that we're going to have a downturn. The reason is we're adjusting the time when we do what's called the purge, when we reconcile our student rolls with who's actually there and who has paid. We're going to do that earlier this year. For the first time, this transition year will probably allow us, unfortunately, to have the optics of having a downturn. But you know the real reason. Nobody else will probably know that. We have mentioned the exchanges we have. We have a fairly substantial international student population. Trying to increase that. We're about 100. Many of them are soccer players, tennis players, and swimmers. They are great kids from around the world, some 40, some odd different countries represented in our international programs. One of the things we did, because as Matt said, we are a family, They'll Stay family, and we really emphasize that. We kind of take care of each other, we look around for each other. This past fall, we instituted a brand new program that's really the all-time all-star honor society, lifetime achievement type award for what we call Legends of Delta State. And we picked the first 5. And the first 4 were inducted back in the fall. It was Margaret Wade, posthumously, of course. We had a new statue put up of her in front of the Coliseum. We had Lloyd Clark, a very successful basketball coach for our ladies program back in the late 80s, early 90s, 3-time national champs. We named the court for him in the fall. He was thrilled. He's still around. Comes up to a lot of programs and events. So he's the second legend. H.L. Novel, known especially to some of the guys around the table here who mentors of ours when we were in student government, fraternity world there. Namesake on the Union was the third. And Kent Wyatt, who was president for 24 years, now president emeritus, was the 4th. I'm going to let you guess who you think the 5th one might be. His induction will be in concert with the dedication of our new baseball stadium coming up in October, and a statue of him will be dedicated that same day when we name him a legend. And he truly is a legend, and he's still there, and he's still as great as he ever was. So we never forget our good friend Boo. So those are some of the things we're doing generally. On a boring side, construction. Some of you wonder why we do. We're only $80 or $100 million in deferred maintenance behind. That's all. And so how do you catch up on that? Well, we do it a little bit at a time. We only get so much money from the state every 2 or 3 years through bond sales. We reorder the priority of what we're doing. We're tearing up the streets this summer, redoing all the streets on campus. They're miserable. They got cracks and bumps and all that. So we're redoing the streets. It's going to be probably a pain for all of us who work there, but we're going to make those nice. We have put fire suppression in dormitories that didn't have it. I don't know how people got away with that before, but we finally taken care of that. The science and math complex, hopefully, will be completed this fall, finally, after 8 years. If you can figure this out, I'm doing a lot of catch-up. We've got a lot of things we need to do that should have been done years ago, but for budget reasons or other reasons weren't done. So we're engaged in a lot of that. And that big flying saucer on campus that we call the dining hall, is still attached. It hasn't flown off yet as a satellite. We're going to do a multi-million-dollar reface of that place starting next year. We'll move everybody out and probably have food service over in the Union for a year and redo that. That's a really important thing. It's a protected piece of architecture. We can't do anything to it except build around it. So we can't change the exterior very much at all. So it's really bizarre. We're going to ask one more time, can we knock it down? And they're going to knock us down when we say that. History won't let us do that from the state, I'm sure. And we've got a few other repairs we need to do. In another year or so, we're going to probably do some work on Siegel. It's terrible. He's done some repair work that's needed in the Coliseum. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on around campus that is going to make us look nicer. Our facilities management folks do a bang-up job of making the campus look nice. And been overlaid. Come on over and drive through. It really does look nice. They do a wonderful job with limited resources. That really kind of wraps up what I wanted to say, but I wanted to not take any more time because I know Todd needs to tell you all about the football season. It was exciting. To lead into athletics, let me say a couple of things about a few other sports. We really have a top-grade Division II program, start to finish, in all of our sports, women's and men's. We're competitive in every sport. Basketball teams went to the postseason. Baseball team had one of its toughest years on record. When have you seen a Kinnison team that doesn't win 40 games? It doesn't happen. He's not happy. We all know it. Well, we had 17, 18, 19 games, rained out, snowed out, whatever it was. So it was kind of a miserable year all around. But all these programs are in good shape, coming back strong. Todd's going to talk to you about football, but we've got some other sports on campus. We're hosting a long course swim meet right now on campus, statewide. And we're the only swim dive university program in the state, as you probably know. That facility is incredible. Some of you haven't seen it, need to come see it. And our swim dive team is top flight. We sent 16 of our swimmers and divers to the Nationals this past year and in the spring. They did great. They set records. They placed higher than ever before, men and women. And 13 of our student athletes are academic All-American. 13. Think about that. All-American. This is incredible. I have the chance now to serve in the Gulf South Conference as vice president. I'll become president next year. We just honored at the convention in Florida a couple weeks ago the 10 most outstanding athletes across the entire conference. 2 of them from Delta State. Tyler Sullivan, our quarterback, and Taylor Holland, a star first baseman for our softball team. You know, so Delta State is getting its share of the limelight because we have quality people. And I'm going to tell you, our athletes, our student athletes, I'm going to steal Todd's thunder. He's got something cool to tell you about what the football team has done. So we have great athletics across the board. It's fun. Come see them. And to top it off, I'll tell you that, I don't know if you saw it on national television during March Madness, but every year they have a slam dunk contest. And the guy who won it this year came out of Eastside High School and Delta State University, LaQuavius Cotton. And if you've ever seen a classic slam dunk, this is it. He's actually jumping over a guy, scissoring over a guy's head in the paint to do his second to last slam. And he won the national. He was the slam dunk contest. And he got drafted by the Harlem Globetrotters. So we've got some exciting things going on. Hope you'll come over to see us, and I'll turn it back to Matt so you can continue the program. Thank you all.
Most all of us in here know Dr. Caston, who is serving as our interim student affairs vice president currently, and had a chance to sit down with him this morning. And how many folks in here would say Delta State changed their life? All of us. Certainly did not. It certainly would not be where I'm at if it were not for the old green and white. I'm a Tuscaloosa, Alabama native. Somehow ended up in Mississippi Delta. A few schools along the way before I got here. As President Forge was saying, we had 13 student athlete All-Americans, academic All-Americans in the swimming and diving program, and 29 as an entire department. Last year was an amazing year. You mentioned Tyler Sullivan, our quarterback, and the coach is going to talk about him in a moment. He's a 3.86 GPA guy, academic All-American, Harlan Hill Trophy finalist last year, and that's the D2 Heisman, basically. So we're very excited. We have right at 400 student athletes. 233 of them last year received some type of academic honor, whether it's all conference, all region, academic, All-American. As Keith and them had a record banner year last year, so did we in athletics. Amazing start to last season. Coach Ty Cooley's in his 3rd year as our head football coach. Coach Cooley, when I start talking about changing lives, a lot of times football coaches are worried about football. They're worried about wins and losses. They're worried about winning rings. We did that last year too. But Coach Cooley is the whole coach. He's worried about him academically, physically, socially. And that's what makes it so enjoyable to work with him every day. He's an Arkansas guy. Haven't always been happy with Arkansas folks, but we kind of like him. We're pretty happy with it. We are entering our 3rd season with it, preseason nationally ranked in every poll. We've got something like 60 returning lettermen from last year. No pressure, Coach. I do the football schedule for Delta State. Record 7 home games this year. Really excited about that. We have 4 road trips. I laid it up for him. Now it's just up for him and the guys to knock it down. So with that being said, Coach Ty Cooley.
Too long to go over here and talk about a couple things. I appreciate y'all having us. Appreciate y'all coming out. Glad to see everybody. See some people I've seen before. Some people I hope to meet everybody. If I haven't met every one of you, I want to meet you before we leave. Really excited about this time of year. It's really close. It's really hot outside, so I know it's about that time to get going. I've been asked a lot, about what we're going to do this year, and my answer is always the same way. This year's a new season. We have a lot of guys coming back, and that's a really good thing. We have a lot of internal leadership for the first time since I've been here, and that's a great thing. But this team, this version of Delta State football in 2015 will be totally different from last year. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about starting the process and starting the journey, because that's probably it's the best thing that I get to do with my job. Is start with a group of guys from day one in early August and see where we can take them to. And I'm not just talking about on the field. That's a lot of fun too. I love football practices probably a whole lot more than the games. Spring football is awesome because you never have to play anybody. You just, hey, we practice good today, and man, we were good. We were awesome. We didn't have to play anybody. But I really enjoy practice. I really enjoy what we're building. We are building something I think that is very, very special. Our young men, I want you to know this, as long as I'm going to be here, and hopefully I'm going to be here a while, President Forge, but as long as I'm going to be here as a head coach, our young men are going to know how special it is to wear that green and white. And our young men are going to know how special it is to put that green helmet on or that white helmet. And we have a saying that the logo never comes off of us. And that Triangle State logo or that old DSU script coming down the middle of the state of Mississippi, that means a lot to us. And our young men understand that. And we are carrying ourselves like that every day of our lives there at Delta State. We're trying to teach them things. Academically, President LaForge kind of alluded to it. When I first got here, the first spring of 2013, my first spring here, we had a team GPA of a 2.54, which that fall, I think they were like a 2.31 before I got there. So we improved a little bit. This past spring, our team GPA was a 2.97, and that's pretty high for a football team. It's 110 guys. We had 8 guys that had a 4.0. We had 58 guys that had a 3.0 or higher out of the 110. So I'm extremely proud of that. We have, I believe, 23. I'm not really good with numbers sometimes. 23 seniors coming up this year. 17 of them are scheduled to graduate on time. One of them will be graduating with his master's degree. So I'm really excited about that. The other 6 we're going to have to get the next year, but we're going to stay on them until last one of them get their degree, and I think that's what's important. From a football standpoint, I'm just ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to see this team get out there. We have a tremendous coaching staff. Coach Nick Popeil, he drove me over here today. He coaches our defensive backs. These guys make my job really, really easy. I just try to get it to where they can do their jobs, organize them. And we are returning a lot of good football players. We have a lot of home games. We are excited about the fact that the picnic area, which is now, I guess, become the levy mat, if that's correct, the levee's getting bigger, season tickets are getting more and more, and it's getting exciting. And the thing I would like to say is, please come watch this group of young men play. Please come watch and play. We have 6 young men from the Delta right now. I don't even know the numbers on how many we have from the state of Mississippi, but over half our roster is from the state of Mississippi. And these guys are playing for you, they're playing for this university, and they're playing football for the right reasons. They're playing football because they know that's a means to further their education. That's what I love about it. We know that there's expectations, we're excited about it, and we embrace those expectations. We are ranked, like Matt said, in every preseason poll. That's great, that's good, and I'll tell you why it's good, because in Division II, the game, it's won on the field, playoffs. And if you're not ranked early, it's harder to get into those preseason, those late polls to get into the playoffs, those regional rankings. So we are there. We've got to stay there. I'll also say that we're the 4th, I guess I'm trying to say this right away. There's 4 Gulf South teams rated in every preseason poll, and we're rated last of all the 4 that are ranked. So I kind of like that too. If you don't think that's posted up everywhere in our field house, just come see it. I'll show you about 12 copies of it. Because I'm enjoying that fact. Footballs are what have you done for us lately, and that's what we try to talk about our guys. We're 0-0, we're starting from scratch. Nobody's a starter yet. Everything's going to be earned, and I think that's the way that it's supposed to be. That's what makes it special. But we are going to be exciting to watch. We're going to play hard for you, and we're going to be a lot of fun. We're going to play fast like we always do, and like I said, it's a great game day experience, and we'd love to have you come out there and watch us. And at this time, I'll take any questions that anybody's got. Yes, sir.
Gulf South Conference, toughest division in Division
Without a
Division
doubt.
Two.
Without a
How
doubt.
do you maintain staying at the top of the conference? I mean, is it more or less? I mean, X's and O's or Johnny's and Joe's? Is it facilities? Is it what do you attribute to being able to stay up in the top of the conference?
It's rough. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, we've done a really good job, and the president, with his leadership, our school it's a whole community. It's everything involved with that. When you start asking that question, to maintain something, you know what I mean? I think a lot of times it's easier to get there for the first time than it is to stay there. Right now, we're expected to stay there, and our guys know this is the hard part of it. It's just like anything else. But the way I look at it is, every day you wake up, you got a choice. You're either going to get better or you're going to get worse, because you're not going to stay the same. So we're trying to get better. We're trying to make everything better. He's trying to make our university better every day, and we're trying to do the same thing with football. It comes down to facilities. It comes down, more importantly, to people. You know, I tell recruits when I bring them on campus, and what we fight, I'll just be honest with y'all, what we fight is we fight a stigma of the Delta. We fight something, we got to overcome it, and we overcome it together. Because when we can get guys to finally get past what North Alabama, what other schools are telling them, I shouldn't say that. You know, example, other coaches say, oh, that's out in the middle of nowhere, you're up there in the Delta. When they come on our campus, when they meet our people, when they meet the people, when they see how nice everything is and how much people care about this university, we normally can get them. But getting them on the trip is hard. That's our biggest challenge. But now when we get them there, we think, all right, we're in the ball game with them now. Because they're going to get to meet our people, they're going to get to meet our young men, they're going to get to meet our coaching staff, and actually put a face with the name and all that good stuff. And I think that just comes from an effort. I know with missions, I'm probably preaching to the choir right here. Y'all battle the same things we battle. But we're going to do it because we're going to do it one person at a time, one athlete at a time, one student at a time. And the thing that I'm going to tell you, and alumni, I'm talking to everybody that's a Delta State fan, we're going to do a great job of recruiting the right kind of people to our football program. The right kind. I mean, if that young man he doesn't value an education, I'm not going to waste time on him. He doesn't value knowing right from wrong. He doesn't care about knowing right from wrong, or he's gotten in trouble somewhere else. Why am I going to bring that to Delta State? That's not what we're here for. It's not always about winning. It's about winning and being able to sleep at night because you know you did it the right way. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we are doing at this point. It's a great question. Who else got one?
Do you have limits on the visits these kids can make?
They can only make 5 official visits. 5 official visits. They can take 5. Well, that's the big one. They can only come visit us officially one time. One visit to us.
Is that
officially?
If they're getting recruited by D1 and D2,
they can take 5 Division I visits, still come see this. And that's what I like to tell them. People don't realize that's who we recruit against. You know, we're not recruiting always against Mississippi College. We're recruiting against Jacksonville State, Alabama. We're recruiting against Louisiana Lafayette sometimes. That's the type of players that we have to get in order to win. The biggest thing I'm going to tell you about Division II football is there is no such thing as a Division II player. There isn't. It's a Division I player has to play at Delta State. Why is he here? Okay? We talk about guys with clock issues or he was overlooked. You know, we have to be able to judge. But if I don't think a guy can play at, I'm not going to say necessarily the SEC. If I don't think, I came from 1AA. I don't think that guy could have started for us at Northwestern State or UCA. I really don't want to recruit him, you know, as far as ability-wise goes. You know what I'm saying? But now, if he's a local kid, you know, that's another thing. We're going to sometimes take other things into consideration. But they get one official where you can actually pay for their meals and stuff to your campus. And we got to make it count when they come. So, great question.
explain your turf.
Proud of it. Proud of it. That's probably if you haven't come seen our stadium and seen our turf, and that was all private dollars. You know, we worked at that, and to be honest with you, it didn't take us very long. Did it, President? People got behind it. Didn't take us very long. We got it done. And I think it's the most beautiful. Of course, I'm biased now, but I think it's the most beautiful turf and field in the state of Mississippi. I love it. The dark and green colors. It has been a valuable tool for us, not only during the season, but during the off season. Because I went out there one day in the off season. We had a baseball player. I mean, they were hitting ground balls. We had so much rain. We had soccer working over here. We had some football players running over here, and that's what we envisioned. That's what was our vision, that this is going to help us get work year round in our athletic.
Well, you know what's unique about it? I mean, what
unique about it?
How's it constructed?
Well, I don't know exactly how. People not smarter than me told us that it was going to rain so much and you wouldn't even notice it. And the day that we cut the ribbon, how much did it rain?
4 inches.
It rained 4 inches. We cut the ribbon, practice, nothing. Dry as a bone. The drainage on it is just unbelievable.
It's state-of-the-art sports turf. It's got the little pebbles that look like ground-up tires. But beneath the surface is a drainage system that doubles as a second cushion to guard against concussions. It's state-of-the-art NFL status type surface.
Right. We've got they call it some type of pad that they use for NFL. We got that put in. You know, so
There are only 9 universities in the country that have it, and we're one of the 9.
One of the 9. And we got the Grand Museum. Man, we were rolling. Rolling in Mississippi. Yes, sir.
Todd, your quarterback's going to be a junior out here?
Junior.
He did all this as a sophomore last year. Wow.
And as a freshman, you know, he started 5 games into his freshman season. We started him, and his first start was against the number 14 ranked team in the nation. They were undefeated, and we beat him. You know, and I think he had an unbelievable second half. He just kind of went on the scene after that. Yeah, it's good to start with that guy. I'll be honest. I'm glad we got
So
him.
you do have one position locked up.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll tell you what, the first day of practice, he'll be getting reps with the ones. I promise you that. And we'll see what goes from there.
If Tyler progresses like you think he progresses, where do you think he falls in for maybe playing at the next level?
I think he'll have a chance. I think he should. I think he'll have a chance. And I think that in the next 2 years at Delta State, you're going to see 3 to possibly 4 guys. I'm not saying get drafted. I don't think we'll be in New York or anything, you know. But I think you'll see 3 to 4 guys. You'll be watching this time of year in training camps and on preseason to see if they're going to make the team. And I really feel that's coming.
And one of the funnier things is all of a sudden how much spotlight has been put on the Gulf South Conference because of the Butler guy from West Alabama intercepted the ball.
Yeah, it's done great. I mean, it's done great for our league. You know, we're playing a great league. And you know, the thing that excites you is it's a little SEC, whatever you want to say about it. But what I'm proud of is the fact that it's like I said, I'm probably most proud. I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud we won a conference championship. That's why this ring's so big, because you never know what you're going to win another. You just don't. So you get as big as you can. And those kids deserve it. That's how I believe. But I'm more proud of the GPA and the young men they're going to become. And it's like I tell them all the time. I say, hey guys, y'all were champions in 2014, but 10 years from now, we're going to know if you're truly champions. Because 10 years from now is when I'm going to judge you. Are you better fathers? Or, you know, how many guys are holding down a steady job? How many guys are contributing to society? And we're going to track that. We're going to keep up with those guys. And hopefully we're going to bring them back 10 years for the reunion, and they're going to be doing what they're supposed to do. And those life lessons that our coaches are teaching them every day is, I think, is what's setting us apart. And like I said, when we get a young man and his parents to come in here on a visit and see that, hey, this is genuine, and this is how we are, and this is how the president is, and all that, you've got a chance to get that young man to come. And that's the name of the game, is recruiting. It's the name of the game with our school. It's the name of the game with anything. And then, like he said, the second part of that is retention. You work so hard to get him here, and you don't want the guy to leave after he starts to have a little success. So it's a battle, but I'm gonna tell you already, it'll wear you out. I'll be honest with you. It wears you out sometimes, but it's a labor of love, and I enjoy it. I screwed up today. Mr. Stone Street, I appreciate you. He asked me a question about my family. It just made me think that it was my 10-year anniversary, and I'd forgotten. I had, because I've been so freaking, I'm just consumed right now with what we have to do next to get better at the football program. But we're going to be out there September the 3rd. I hope to see y'all too. August the 6th, Cleveland Country Club. August the 6th is our fall fundraiser, the football bash. I promise you, if you come, you won't regret it. I promise you that. Please come. Mike comes every year. It's a heck of a time, and we'd love to see you there on Thursday night, August the 6th in Cleveland. Okay? And I appreciate y'all's time. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Coach Cooley. Thank you, President LaFlores. Thank you all of our faculty and staff that made it here tonight. I did fail to recognize someone earlier that I want to recognize, but she'll be, I don't want to embarrass her, but she'll be a freshman at Delta State from this area next year. Avery, we're glad you're here tonight. Look forward to seeing you there. Again, we're so glad you guys are here tonight, and we want to continue to do this. So when you go back to your area, I know as you look around the room, you see lots of Delta State alumni that are not here tonight. Please, when you see them, talk to them. Talk to them in a positive light about this event and what we plan to do in the future. Next year, when we set the dates for this event, prior to that, I'm going to reach out to a few of you guys because I have your autograph on the sign-in sheet right up there, and I'm going to ask you to join me for lunch somewhere in town. And what we're going to talk about is, when we talk about the dates that are already set, we're going to talk about recruiting. We're recruiting alumni to come to the event, and as simple as this, everybody can get an invitation from us, the staff members. You know, we're supposed to send that out. We're supposed to do the best we can to promote it. But really, to get people over that edge to come sometimes, we need your help. Cell phone call, social media, Facebook message, send someone a tweet,
Super Talk
write an email. Super Talk. There you go. Good. And next year, I'm going to write it down in the notes. We will reach out. Thank you. So again, thank you all for being here tonight as we complete the second stops on the Delta State Family Roadshow. We have a few door prizes that we would like to give away at this time, so we took all your names down. So right now, Jordan, first item will be a Delta